Bam! What is up with the squad? It's your favorite auntie with Uncle Tendencies. Y'all hear that music? When y'all hear that music, y'all need to know the truth tellers is coming. Here they come. When y'all hear that music, y'all need to know the truth tellers is coming. We here. We here. Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Hit them likes, run them up. Hit them likes, hit that share, because they both right there. 5 of y'all put shared in the chat. And let's get to the tea. Let's get to the tea. Political Lil, what's up?
What's going on? Ready to let it brew.
We're going to get on right into it. You know who it is. Welcome back, y'all. Welcome back. Welcome back. And it's your first time here. Welcome. Cess Talk Sports, BY's PoliSports Tea time. Hey, listen, the kettle stay hot. The truth don't come with sugar. And the conversation cut deeper than a box score. Y'all ready? Run them likes up. Let me know in the chat where you from. Let us know in the chat where you tuning in from. City, state, just the state. Let us know where you tuning in from. But let's get into this. Let's get into this conversation because last time we started the pot with the politics of control, right? And we broke down how black women in sports get boxed in, silenced, or flat out just erased. The second their shine outgrows the narrative. Well, we back right now. Guess what? We back at the same stove tonight, but the recipe to change. New flavor, same fire. Okay, new flavor, same fire. Because what's brewing in the WNBA right now? That ain't growth. It's rebrand. It's a rebrand going on. And it sure as hell ain't rooted in equity. We watching a league built by black and brown girl magic now doing a little too much pivoting towards the conservative coin. And that got us asking the realest question of all. Is the W trying to swap black brilliance for white male dollars? And if so, what's the price of the pivot? Did you hear me? I said, what's the price of the pivot? We going there. So y'all pour your tea, press play. Don't keep this tea to yourself. Share it. Tag your people. Drop a comment, because this one, it ain't just about hoops. It ain't never just about hoops. With me and Political Lil up here, it's about power. It's about branding, and who really gets to be the face of the game. Black women built from the hardwood up. So let me bring in my co-conspirator in truth, Political Lil, because you know she always brings clarity in the cut. What's up, Lil? Let's go.
What's going on? Thank you, Auntie Cess. You already done set the table, so all I'm gonna do is bring in the heat.
Let's go.
Yes, viewership is booming, and we love that the W is finally getting some attention. But let's be real. The growth isn't coming without a cause. We're seeing a narrative shift. Real subtle, real slick-like. Where one figure is being framed as the league's savior, while black women who built the league and still dominating it are being kind of, pushed to the margin. And so this is about media saturation, selective storytelling, and a very familiar pattern. Black women do the labor, and someone else gets the limelight. And we ain't mad at nobody, and we ain't worried about nobody's talent, because we got plenty. But we are watching how the coverage of one individual is being used to overshadow the legacy and impact of players like Erasure, Angel Reese, and so many others. So tonight we got to ask the question that matters. Not just for the moment, but for the movement. Is the NBA rebranding or coming up with a rebrand strategy that erases black legacy? And how should the fans respond?
Well, let's get into it. Let's get into it. I mean, this is the perfect time I think this is the perfect time to talk about it. We just saw the Commissioner's Cup game last night. Congratulations to the Indiana Fever, winners of the Commissioner's Cup. Interesting to me as we talking about rebranding and coverage of one person. That was still the person that they was talking about the most after the game, right? And it was a disservice to Howard, who bought out. It was a disservice to Aaliyah Boston. It was a disservice to those players that hoop. And for her to take center stage and be like, "Oh, the league is sick because we won the Commissioner's Cup." No, they're not. No, they're not. But Lil, we'll save that for another time. Lil, how do you see this image shift playing out and who the media is choosing to amplify right now? And y'all let us know in the chat too. Y'all let us know in the chat too. Is the WNBA's rebrand a strategic erasure of black legacy? And how should fans respond? Let us know what y'all think. Do y'all see this image shift? I'm really interested. Run them likes up coming in the door. Lil, let me know.
As we've talked about many times, the media is always trying to spotlight players who they think fit a more marketable or mainstream audience. but then they want to sideline those who don't conform to their traditional expectations. So this shift narrows the diversity of voices and stories we see, especially from unapologetic Black women or Black women who just say, okay, I came here, I'm Black, and I'm going to have to accept that, and I'm going to be proud of it, and I'm just going to work with what God gave me. It's like people just cannot stand for you to even love yourself. You know, mm-hmm. That's considered the greatest love of all. So, you know, Black women have long been the heart of the game. And, you know, to these control freaks, I call them narcissists, it's about controlling the narrative to appeal to audiences they select, you know. But in actuality, when you're erasing other players, you know, the very ones that built the foundation of the league, you're going to turn off some segment of the audience. And there's really no reason why you can't market both and let the fans decide who they want to, you know, get behind, instead of trying to market other people in a way that you know, makes them, you know, downplays them like they inferior. Because that's, again, people, that's what's behind this. White superiority and the myth of Black inferiority is really what's driving it. It's driven this country since its inception. And that, you know, even though that was 250 years ago, they ain't changed nothing.
And it's still all about the money. It's still all about the dollar. It's still all about the dollar. Tabitha, what's good? KL, what's happening? Danbury Sports Highlights, what's happening? Y'all, so before we dive deeper into the trending headlines and the performative hashtags, let's just hit pause for a second. Because if y'all rock with PoliSports Tea, right? If y'all rock with Cess Talk Sports and BYs, then you already know that we don't just react, we remember. So the image shift, this sudden pivot in the spotlight, this ain't new. This got roots. So from the first tip off, black women been the foundation. Black and brown women been the foundation to fuel the soul of the devil. Lisa Leslie, Cheryl Swoops, Tina Thompson, Tamika Catchings, Kim Perot. The blueprint. They didn't just hoop. They built this league with game, with grace, with grit, and unmatched cultural swag. Like yeah, some of y'all can't. I'm probably not old enough to remember '97, but even at the top of their game, the spotlight stayed filtered. Too black, too loud, too proud. Too much for a media machine that didn't know how to bottle this brilliance up. It couldn't control. Fast forward to now, and we see the remix. Different names, same erasure. Angel Reese, multiple MVPs, champion, defensive powerhouse, unmatched impact, and yet less coverage, less visibility, less love than a rookie, less love than a second-year player. And they will tell you that she's not marketable, but her shoe sales tell you different. That ain't a glitch. That's the algorithm doing exactly what it's programmed to do. And that's what I be talking to y'all too about the algorithm. Y'all, we're gonna have to do a show where we really explain to you guys this, how important your social media currency is. Your social media currency is what drives the algorithm. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all currency. You think of that like $1, a $5, a 10, a 20. How you spend that matters. How you spend that determines how the algorithm moves. We got to be better with how we spend our social media currency, because that allows them to continue to push bullshit narratives. So when we clicking on clickbait type stuff, when we clicking on stuff that we know is not true, and then we click it and then we share it and then we regurgitate it out into our timelines, right? Which then goes out and spreads out to all of our people. We're telling the algorithm that we like that we want more of that. The way that you get away from that is not spending your social media currency like that. Be selective with where you like, where you share, where you comment, where you subscribe. It matters. It matters. But let's get all the way real about this. When black women lead, it's called niche. But when white women step into the same space, suddenly it's mainstream, marketable, made for TV. The game didn't change, the narrative did. And that shift is that's not about who's better. That's about who gets branded. Right? It's not about who's better. It never comes down to who's the better player. It never comes down. It's not about that. It's about who gets branded. So, Lil, let's pull the receipts, because this ain't a new play. It's just the same old system, just in a fresh jersey. So in history, she'll never lie. So let's go there.
Yeah, absolutely, Cess. See, it starts with visibility and who's denied it. And from the jump in the W, it has been underfunded. Games were hidden and hard to find channels. Promotion was inconsistent. And yet the league stayed alive because Black women showed up as athletes, as fans, and as leaders. And we made the league matter. And when it came to activism, it was Black women. They didn't just play, they protested, they organized, they flipped the Senate seat, stood up for Breonna Taylor. The league used that energy when it was marketable. But now that they're courting the conservative white male audience, suddenly they turned the volume down on justice and turned up the safe storyline. And let's be real, Black women gave the WNBA its soul, but now they want new fans, and the league is acting brand new. And that silence around Black greatness, that's not accidental. That's strategy rooted in whiteness and capitalism.
And I think what we're saying here is it's not about who they spotlight, it's who they choose not to. And so I see Tabitha saying, honestly, they have never promoted the W right. There have been so many great players. There's no way they could have been in the red since the W began. Even with CC, they're still in the red. Well, not even just with CC, with that entire rookie class. But what's interesting is that at one point they were marketing everybody. Then they grew too fast, and then some other things happened, and we would have to do a real history to go back into it because the LGBT factors into this as well, as far as like how they got pushed and when it kind of got stymied and all of that. But I won't start off. I won't go down that road right now. But they don't partner well with their players. Not when they're players and not after they're players. Think about that. Think about all the good players that you're talking about right now that aren't around the league, that aren't ambassadors of the league, that aren't faces in this league, that aren't helping push the league and this great basketball game that they have right now back out into the markets and the partnerships and the networks that they have.
And a lot of them are Olympians, you know, that could be touching, you know, having touch points worldwide. And let me just say this before we go on with the conversation.
Yeah, go ahead.
Please, please, please don't believe everything you hear. I can't tell you that I lost $40 million if I can't see your books. And since this league's inception, the books have never been seen on no team, not by the players, not by anybody but the IRS. And you know you can't go to the IRS and get somebody else's book. So I don't want to hear we losing money. We've been in the red, this, that, and the other. The men see their books, they see the team books. Women have never been able to see the team books, and there's nothing in the CBA that allows me to look at your books. Even though the CBA got these touch points, you got to make 20 million here for us to give you this percentage. You got to make 30 million here for us to. How do I know I haven't made that if I can't see your books? You know, so this is some mafia type stuff where you keeping a little black book, and I can't never tell if I'm progressing because I can't see your books. So until there's some transparency on the economics, I don't want to hear they lost this and they lost that, because you could be telling me anything, you know, to keep from paying me. Go ahead, Cess. I just wanted to point that out.
No, that's a great point. But and I was just gonna go. I was gonna ask you how early actually do you think the media erasure? How did that early media erasure of legends like Swoops catching set the tone for what we're seeing right now?
The media's early sidelining the legends like Swoops and Catchings created a pattern of ignoring true pioneers who shaped this game. And this erasure minimized Black women's contribution and allowed the league to rewrite its narrative around less threatening or what they consider to be more market-friendly figures. So they laid the groundwork for ongoing what they call underrepresentation and limited recognition of Black women's full impact in the sport. So that started early on. There was, you know, like a lot of people don't understand that these crowds that you're seeing right now that you think is brand new, go back and watch some films from early 97, 90, you know, when the league first started. You had these same crowds, and then there just came a period of time that people started coming out. so to speak. And then that's when you seen a lot of controversy. The kind of crowds kind of backed up because in the beginning it was a family friendly thing, So
Okay, but
these
that
big
was a fumble
crowds
from the beginning. That was a fumble from the beginning, though, Lil. Okay,
Mhm.
and I'm not saying that they shouldn't have tried to come out being family friendly, but they needed to be thinking about, especially at that time, what the word family meant to people, and especially at that time, it was much more guarded as traditional, very 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 traditional, and people weren't as open minded as they are about LGBT and same sex and families and being open about same sex couples having children and same sex couples also having families, right? So you had this clash in the WNBA where it was like, we family friendly, bring your kids, and it was really cool because the players would come out before the game and the players would stay after the game. You could come down, you could shake their hand, you could take pictures with them. They made themselves very available on the floor. It was very grassroots. It was very they were very approachable. It wasn't, it wasn't standoffish, right? It was this atmosphere. But then you had to, but you got to think about, okay, you got LGBT families in the league, so their families are coming as well, right? Then the other critical piece that I don't think that the W even really thought about was that you were going to bump this family-friendly league that you were trying to build to bring in probably more of a conservative group. You're launching this league in Pride Month, in a league that has a lot of members of the Pride community, and so all of that was bumping up against each other. And then they made a decision. They made a decision, and so Cheryl Swoops, she was going to be the face of the league, and then Cheryl Swoops said, "Well, I might be LGBT. I might be one of them letters," and then she disappeared. And then it was Candace, and then she disappeared. And then it was Stewie, and then it was like, Stewie, you too. And then it was like, okay, we tired of y'all. And then it seemed like marketing kind of just went away, and it was just up to however it happened. However you stumbled across this thing, right? But at the same time that's happening, you got college hoops taking off. Women's college hoops is taking off. Them names is coming out of there. Who they hooping, right? Yeah, 20 years making players have to worry about food and travel. And it's not they didn't build the gap. They didn't bridge that gap. They didn't partner with them. So yeah, well, here's the thing. You say it was always this negative stereotype regarding the LGBTQ plus representation in the league, which makes people not want to support the league. But my problem with that was stop trying to support. Stop. Well, first of all, stop trying to push a narrative that the most powerful dollar out there is the conservative white male dollar. There's other dollars that bump up against that. If the LGBTQ plus community really looked at what the power of our dollar is, we got a big spending. We got a powerful dollar too. Our as a consumer, we're one of the most loyal consumers. We're one of the most word of mouth consumers. Once we know that you're an ally, once we know that you support, once we know all of those things, man, word of mouth, man, we spending our dollar with you. So, got to make up your mind who money you want, and it ain't always greener on the other side. While you begging for this conservative white male to give you this money, they've turned their back on the people that have been supporting this community. I mean, this league. And not that there aren't other conservatives that support it, but we got to get real about what's going on. And you need some representation of everybody that's in the league. So some conservative dollars, some LGBTQ dollars, but they have to be able to say, we're going to try to market to everyone and not cater to just one market. The entire league needs to be reformatted. I agree. The entire league. And unfortunately, Tabitha, what people don't realize right now is that this is the time right now for the reformatting, and the players are going to mess around and not have the leverage that they need to really reformat this thing so that the players are empowered, and overnight the WNBA could look like the NBA, and that'll make it not fun anymore. I'm just being honest. That would make it not fun anymore. But that's a conversation for a different time. But if y'all go and look at the 3 teams that they just brought in, they're all tied back to NBA organizations, teams.
Mm-hmm.
That's taking power away from the WNBA. That's taking power away from the players, and that's making them more in line with what the NBA is doing.
Mm-hmm.
That may not be the best thing for their product, but at least we got unrivaled out there. But y'all let me know. We're going to come back and do an entire conversation about that. But whose legacy do you think the league should be honoring and centering more in today's coverage right now? Whose legacy do you think that the league should be honoring and centering more in today's coverage? And I think, it's important to call out that you can't really understand the shift unless you know what got shifted. So let's talk about how the shift really started, because it didn't just pop up in 2024. They didn't just say, "Oh, we're gonna change the league in 2024." Truth is, black women been the foundation of the league, from Lisa Leslie throwing it down in LA to Tamika Catchings, right? Clamping up everything in sight. But it was built off their backs, their brilliance. But even when they were building that blueprint, the media was busy shrinking the frame. Too powerful, too unapologetic, too black. And that same bias didn't retire when those legends did. It just got a makeover. So Asia, generational talent, record breaker, multiple MVPs, championship leader, still get treated like an afterthought. Like she's part of a supporting cast in the story. She should be headlining. Asia is the show. 1,000 points last season. Who did better? That is the show. I don't care nothing about no logo threes. I don't care nothing. No, that wasn't the show. 1,000 points. And that's not taking anything away from that, but the excellence, the sustainability, the proven talent is taking a back seat to somebody who might be talented, who might be able to win the championship. And that's what don't make no sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
When you earn the opportunity to be the headliner, then you headline. But you start off at, they got the star of the show, and then they got the backup for that person, and they got the person they're going to call from there. You got to move up. I don't know. Asia is heterosexual. Why she is not the face for the W, I have no idea. 1,000 points as a season is super impressive. It ain't never been done before. But that record don't count. It's like only certain records count. Only certain records qualify as excellent. And that's crazy to me. Nobody ever has scored 1,000 points in the WNBA.
And think about all the greats all the Hall of Famers that have come through this league.
All the GOATs.
And it took 27 years for 1,000 points in a season to even be achieved. That should have been broadcast.
She did it with games left over. Unapologetically is what get Asia in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
That's what get Asia left out the conversation every time. Because they know that they can't approach her with no bullshit. And she ain't going for it. But this ain't necessarily just about skill. It's about narrative. Because when black women lead, the game gets labeled a niche, right? It's niche. But when a white face steps in, all of a sudden that's mainstream. So that's legacy level erasure. Tone down the culture, tuck in the edge, make it palatable for the dollars they chase. But you can't rebrand what you didn't build. You can't box up black brilliance and then sell it without consequence. We are watching and we got notes. So, Lil, how does the league's history of media neglect toward black legends shape what's happening now with Asia and others?
Well, the league past media neglect of black legends, that's created a cycle where today's stars like Asia have to fight twice as hard, for the visibility and respect. And it shows that despite talent and achievement, black women still face barriers of full recognition. And this history informs us of the ongoing struggle for fair media coverage and authentic representation to the point that I'm starting to lean towards, there's going to be a discrimination case here soon. because it's so blatant. Everybody that plays is an employee, and you are required by law to promote them fairly, to treat them fairly, to have the same working conditions. All of these things that we see not being done across the board. These they're gonna look up, and the Department of Justice gonna be on top of their head, because it's too much. It's too many receipts out there. They too obvious. They too bold with it, And then you can even find in that collusion. You got to be colluding between these entities at the league office, because that's a conscious decision to sit up there and say, I don't care if she got 500 rebounds. Shh. She the first. In other words, the league should be putting that out. I didn't hear nothing from the league about Reese being the first woman to 500 rebounds and 500 points, or 100 rebounds and 50 assists in the season. Doing it in less games. They not making no big noise about it, but let somebody else had done it, and we know who, they'd have saturated us, ran us over, molded us down, making sure we recognize that person's achievement. And that's what really kind of burns me up about not only how they did them did in the past. It was even more egregious how they doing it now with all the free outlets, social media. You don't even put it on net. You got other people making posters and putting out these recognitions of these young ladies, and I think that's a disgrace and a shame.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's see here. Age is very personable person, a great person. Oh yeah, Age is
only problem.
Age is pressure. Age is pressure. I didn't see Keyshawn's interview with Candace and Cheryl. Keisha,
I heard about it, but I didn't see it either.
I don't know. I didn't even hear about it. That's the first I'm hearing about it. Hey, hi, Gemini, welcome. Whose legacy the league should cover more? I never hear Yolanda Griffith's name. They never talk Gail Griffith. Gail Griffith, legend, hooper,
legendary rebounder.
A lot of people that can talk about Yolanda Griffith, Tisha Pinachero, Kim Perrott. There's a lot of hoopers that they just we don't hear about.
And that's why you don't know about them. They don't even have a Legends team comeback. I think the Aces was the only one had a team comeback, where they allowed the Legends to come back and spend a day with them. But just like you have the Pride week that they celebrate, you should have a Legends week that you celebrate.
Absolutely.
So that people know who these people are. And I'm gonna tell you another thing, and I think I mentioned this before. The NHL, National Hockey League, all of their stars are attached to their teams as ambassadors. And that there's no reason for that not to be going on. In order to bring more of an audience in, and encourage these young ladies out here, that want to be a part of the league. I just am not seeing enough.
I got you. And then, Al, that's a great question. I wonder how Asia feels about LeBron advocating for CC. I'm starting to look at him sideways. What's interesting about LeBron is that before Asia was wearing her signature shoe, she was wearing LeBron's. He was playing in LeBron's shoes. So,
and he was all at the games, and especially during the summer league, because that's out in Vegas.
So it's just I don't know.
I think he's being driven by, I want a team, and I can't get a team unless I'm out here caping for who they want me to cape for.
Well, I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. I strongly believe that he has some association with the Atlanta Dream. When I watched that documentary, that was his idea for Renee to get that team. So I do believe that he helped make that. He may have some silent partnership somewhere. But just my opinion. we need to discuss why our people don't support our own. I really believe that if we had a crossover talent like Jordan or Kobe, they spend that money. Okay, so here we go. We as a group need to have a lot of conversations. But see, the reason we do support our own. We've been doing a lot of support. We've been selling people out. We push back. That's one of the things that that's one of our call to actions. But in order for us to have a conversation, we as a people, we got to start a conversation in our house first. And fix what the hell is wrong. What the hell is wrong in our house? Then fix what the hell is wrong with our family. Then fix what the hell is wrong in the community. But see, people don't want to peel back the layers to get down to what the hell is wrong with the family first, to be able to move out to the house, to move out to the family, to move out to the community, to move out to the city, for us to be really moving towards something. See, our feelings get hurt when it's time to really peel back the layers and have conversations. So that's a conversation for another day. I'm gonna get off my soapbox right there. But we would have to have a lot of conversations. And I'm here for them, but everybody got to be willing to have them. They hate to acknowledge black women. The only stats that matter is their white hope, and she's not the real all-time scorer in college basketball. WNBA players need to take a stand and make noise. So here's the thing. Will they have the power to do that? Will they have the power still to do that? With the majority ownership of WNBA teams now being back to NBA. Major media outlets in the WNBA are definitely in cahoots. You think Cece is the villain? Let me know. Why do you think she's the villain? Aces Alumni Week is from the Raiders Alumni Week. Got it. Keisha Posey, if they do the media, will label them as haters in the league and try to ban them from the league. LeBron is a fence rider. He jumps from being pro-black to corporate and back and forth. He is probably an owner. I think so. Clark isn't the all-time leading scorer, but the media wants you to believe that. What's the I can't think of her name. We talking about the records that weren't brought over to the NCAA.
Oh, you talking about Lynette Woodard?
Lynette Woodard.
AI, what was it? AIAW?
How we wrong about LeBron? How? What did I say was wrong about LeBron? Tabitha, tell me what I said was wrong about LeBron. LeBron ain't been on TV talking about he relate the most to CC because he know what she been going through. He understand. He ain't acting like she been saving the league. I didn't say that his daughter didn't wear Asian shoes. I didn't address that at all. Matter of fact, I said it's funny to me that CC is the one that he's talking about, and Asia was the one rocking his shoes. I would have rather. I don't know how many times I've seen him up really just pushing for Asia like that. But tell me what I was wrong about. I'm here for it. Enlighten me. Where was I wrong about LeBron? I don't doubt that his daughter is wearing Asian shoes in her volleyball game, especially because LeBron is a Nike athlete. His daughter probably likes Asian. A lot of young girls do. Support black business. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I love supporting black business, but I need black business to be able to keep a standard. Like how you open on day one, grand opening day. I need that same level of customer service. I need them same portions. I need them same good attitudes. I need all of that. You understand? I need all of that from the black business that I'm supporting, because 4 weeks from now, when cuz don't feel like cooking and auntie don't want to work no more, and now you got the kids running through here and you got a bad attitude and the portions that went down and the order ain't here, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. So I need for all of those things to stay the same. So the smiles you were giving day one when it was grand opening and the music was playing and we was happy to be here and it was all good, 28 days from now, when the restaurant been open 28 days and we've been cooking 28 days straight and it's chicken every day and all of that, I want that same smile, that same how you doing, that same can I help. I want all of that. That's all I ask. Peel it back, Cess, because we spend billions. Yeah, come on, let's talk about it. Steph has done more for black women in public than LeBron. Yeah, I love me some Steph Curry though. It's also crazy how black men in the media always run with the narrative that the W players are hating on Clark. These are the same men who are quick to say Angel is the worst player in the W. But ask them, which one of them would be willing to dim their light or be less of a star to let somebody who had won less than them shine in the NBA?
Mm-hmm.
Remember, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen was so pissed off that Jerry Reinsdorf even thought that Tony Kukoc could be a international Michael Jordan. They went and beat his ass in the Olympics. You remember that? Y'all remember that?
They crushed him. They wouldn't let him score shit. You ain't scoring nothing.
But they want us to just let it ride. They wouldn't let him have GOAT status. They wouldn't let him have none of that. Tony had to come earn it, remember? Tony had to come earn it. That's all we're saying about her. Earn it.
Yeah.
Y'all want us to crown him? Crown her. Why? Tony had all them records internationally. He had won just like Michael internationally. He had MVPs internationally. They got to the Olympics and say, yeah, don't nobody pick him up but me and him. He ain't going to score in this thing. Better than me? Shit. He ain't even in this league. Stop playing with me. Y'all know how I go if you really play sports. Yeah. I'm glad CC came because how they run in the league is getting exposed. When Juju Hidalgo for Wally come is going to flip back, but CC is the beginning. Now her fans are obsessive. I don't know if that's the case. I don't think it's gonna flip back. I don't think it flips back. Why go through all of this if you just gonna let it flip back?
Now the only thing gonna change it is a discrimination lawsuit. I don't see it flipping. They're not gonna do anything they're not forced to do. You know, and they in the box thinking that they got all the answers.
1 second, y'all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, power concedes nothing without demands. Yeah, I ain't. And I want to be clear too. I don't think that the people that are here that are obsessive and the people that are here that are aggravating us are really her fans. I think these are people that have been placed here to push a narrative and get us to believe that there's some other shit going on. Those people, are people that are here that are weaponizing the race to get to the green. And that's the narrative that I'm pushing back on. Does she have some fans that are here that really love basketball? Sure they do. And they're not getting on your nerve. Because them is the ones that'll tell you, hey, you know what? Yeah, sometimes CC don't play that good. Hey, she had a bad game. No, she didn't help them win that title last night. Right? She didn't help them win that title that they talking about. They do look better defensively when she's not on the floor. Objective basketball stuff. Mm-hmm. The Clarkians that come in here and it's nothing about basketball. They don't have any receipts. They don't have any stats to back it up. It's just she's the GOAT. When you tell them why, because she is. Who said why? Name a GOAT that don't have a championship, and then they're gonna tell you that this is a championship. Okay, tell me the last time you went to a parade in the middle of the season for a championship.
All the people they running with that ideology, white superiority, black inferiority. So that's those people.
Okay, I think LeBron's speaking on the hate CC receives. I'm not sure why he doesn't see that with Reese or the rest of the league as a whole. And so my thing for them is just stay out of it. When they ask you a question about it, if you don't want to speak on the whole thing or you're not really entrenched in what's going on over here, say, hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, ask me something about the NBA. Because the minute he puts something out of his mouth, because of what his brand is and how he's respected in the NBA and as a global brand and as a ambassador of basketball, the minute it comes out his mouth, now it's got to be true, because LeBron said words matter, right? Who he is matter, his stature. Like LeBron is somebody out here. If he go out there and he be like, CC getting hated on, people gonna run with that. Mm-hmm. And then people will say, well, LeBron didn't say nothing about Angel. So when you say Angel getting hated on, it's going to be like, well, LeBron didn't say that. So that means that two things can't be true. Or more than one thing can't be true. Does CC get hate mail? I'm sure she does. Do I see it? No. But I'm not a CC fan. So I don't really be checking for her. I try not to have her on my timeline. But I'm not going to deny the fact that these other women get hate mail. I'm not going to deny the fact that these other women have been erased. I'm not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
These platforms matter. They'll never promote a black player over a white player, and as much as they're trying to throw Clark down our throats and make her the face of the league, and she hasn't won anything. Black men and women will say what I guess whites like in order to make money. Examples: Candace Owens, Shannon Sharp, Thomas Sowell, Stephen A. Smith. It's a grift. Yeah, but you got to call it out. Like you work for ESPN. There's some things that you have to. There's some rules that you have to abide by when you work for ESPN. That's anybody go to work. No, none of us could. No place that you could work would allow you to get on TV and badmouth them. No place that you work.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that about you. I respect that about you. I leave you over there. That's an ESPN type of guy over there, Stephen A. Smith. He's a company guy. I respect that. What I don't do is let you be a company man during the day and then pull up in the hood like it's all good on your own platform at night. Like you didn't just say some bullshit earlier today. Because you could have just said nothing. That's wrong. That's wrong at with it.
All right, y'all know the old saying: if you ain't got nothing good to say, then just hush.
What I think they're gonna do is they found out that Cece doesn't necessarily get it done, and they need to still get it done. And they put a lot of money into her being a star and being able to get it done. And so, just like any other thing, bring in the talent. Bring in the talent. You gotta play. Bring in the talent, and then she'll be the reason. She'll be the reason. But we've seen it. Are we going to allow it? I hate the fact that he is sending out dog whistles. Yeah. But now let's talk about how the story is being rewritten in real time. Her style of play doesn't win titles. Her style of play just doesn't bring me to the TV. It's too long and too far and in between in the basketball game for the logo 3 for me. It's just too long to get to that. What about the defense? I'm here for that. Block the shot, steal the ball, take somebody off the dribble. You know what I mean? That's the type of basketball that excites me. I'm not saying that there aren't people that really are there for the logo 3. That's fine. Check in. 100. They brought in a whole bunch of talent, and CC would get the credit. Yes. They got her down there looking like a coach on the sideline. You see her walking back and forth. Did y'all see her in the middle of the game walking? She was walking with somebody in the middle of the game on the sideline, like they was checking in on the strategy. Yes. But this is where the image shift hits overdrive, y'all. The second Caitlin Clark touchdown in the W wasn't just a draft. It was a full-blown media coordination. Headlines, endorsements, highlight reels on repeat. You would have thought she was the only one got drafted. Oh, we know Angel ain't the worst player in the WNBA. Hell yeah. And we need to keep reminding people that we know. So I can stop saying that silly stuff. Even on nights she's not the top performer, she's still the top story. Why? Even on nights that she don't even play, she's still the top story. Why?
Mm-hmm.
They hate on Paige because they hate to admit that she's a better player than Clark and she grew up around black kids. That's not why they hate on Paige. And Paige didn't just grow up around black kids. Paige has a black stepmother and a biracial brother. And Paige went to the ESPYs and got on the mic and said that black women built the league and needed to be celebrated. And they have been scared to put the microphone in front of Paige's face ever since. They don't know what Paige gonna say. They like, oh, you one of them. Oh, you one of them.
Truth tellers.
And the W website has CC in the center of the team picture, like she played. Didn't I? Yeah. You don't think so? Let's be crystal clear, though. This ain't about denying her game. This is not about denying her game at all. She can shoot, no doubt. But talent is not the question. The issue is the machine behind her. The system that decided her arrival was historic, while other rookies like black women like Angel Reese, Rakia Jackson, Camila Cardoso, or even Alyssa Pilley, Cameron Brink, been putting in work and getting drowned out or picked apart. Why? That's not accidental. That's how the narrative gets curated. Right there. Indiana's going to win the championship. Indiana's going to win the championship. They're pissed off that Indiana Pacers didn't win the championship because they already had the media together for Halliburton and Clark down your throats from here till next summer. You hear me? Mm-hmm. Do you hear me? They so pissed off that the Pacers didn't. Oh, God. They wanted a Pacers, Fever, Indiana City kind of championship so bad, they couldn't buy that bitch, though. Okay, OKC was like, we're going to find out. She got potential, but that's developmental strength. She done brought into the hype. Yeah, she does draw a crowd, but she has to win or bust. That's right. Is Juju the solution? Juju is someone who also receives similar coverage and is loved by everyone. The Juju come to the W also bring down this hype narrative part of Clark. No.
You don't see that fanfare at all.
And the reason why I say no is because CC not even playing college basketball right now. Every time Juju do something, they bring up CC. Why? She ain't even playing college basketball right now.
Mm-hmm. You're always trying to pair her with somebody to give her cultural cachet.
And the thing about what got messed up for Juju is because Juju is hurt and potentially not playing this entire season or part of this season, I don't know if she's still on pace to break those records. So I'm not sure what the coverage around Juju is going to be. How many token black men and boys live CC and this AR disgusting. It ain't even just men and boys, though. In general, people. Clark's gonna win one. I think she's gonna win one, y'all. Like, they spent too much money for her not to win one.
Right.
Do y'all see that they just bought a team to try to win one?
Mm-hmm.
Whether she play or not.
But she gonna get the credit regardless.
You damn right. They gonna find the however many logo three she shoots, and that'll be the reason. But one face gets framed as a revolution in this thing. The others labeled too much or ignored altogether. And then the double standards. Caitlin gets called competitive, fiery, passionate. Kennedy Carter bodied her with a clean check. It's aggressive, out of line, bad for the game. CC pulls the crowd, and they trying to cash in before the fans realize she's overhyped and Juju that girl. But CC pulls the crowd. CC pulls the crowd because they told y'all that CC should pull the crowd. And I don't mean you, but I just mean in general.
Mm-hmm.
They can't let Juju come out early unless they change the
CBA.
The CBA right now.
And we don't know even know if they're gonna have an agreement in time.
So, it's interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how this thing works out. I didn't watch the Indiana game the other day, but the race code and language is what gets to me. The media chooses who gets to be the hero, who's the problem, but doing the same stuff. Then folks be pulling up everywhere for CC. They be pulling up everywhere for Angel. They pull up everywhere for Asia. Miss me with that. Miss me with that. Tell me they don't pull up for Asia. Them folks be pulling up everywhere for CC at. I done seen people pull up where CC at with Asia shit on. Don't buy into the hype. So they only pulling up for CC? Stop it.
But the Valley got the biggest, they got the largest fan record.
And then here's the thing.
Nowhere in the building.
CC is the biggest draw. CC is the biggest draw. CC is the biggest draw, right? But here's the thing. When they say what is CC's most watched games? Ain't they the ones that she played against Angel in?
All the time.
So is CC the big draw, or is it Angel, or is it both of them? Because why ain't they all like that? Why is it just when it's her versus Angel? Stop playing, y'all. Stop letting people only tell y'all half the story. Stop thinking only one thing can be true. Two things can be true. CC could have a fan base and Angel could have a fan base. They both could be bringing eyes to the WNBA. CK, if you want to jump in and yeah, we said it was a setup. So we here for the conversation. You don't even gotta ask if you want to tell us why. If you want to tell us why you think it ain't, go ahead. We here for it. Let me know why. Let me know why it's not race. The CC is low. We here for it. We know it's a setup. Facts. They said CC bought $10 million to the 2023 Natty, but why hasn't those $10 million come to our WNBA game? Because all $10 million wasn't just there for her. But if them was the only numbers that you gonna report, them was the only numbers that you gonna report. If you gonna act like them was the only numbers that you count, then we ain't gonna never count. What's up, Wody? Cess they do, and yes, Angel and Asia have fan bases, but CC does move the needle. So tell me this. Y'all telling me Angel got a fan base? Angel fan base was bigger than the whole leagues coming in the league. What we talking about? Angel was the one at the Met. Angel was the one that bought support. Angel was the one that's bringing the brands. What are we talking about? Tell me again about what CC doing. Now I got to give you a minute. Okay. I mean, whenever you get to it, CK, we'll check. We'll get to it. Lil, what does the framing of Caitlin Clark's rise compare to how Black rookies are being covered? Tell us about whose excellence is seen as market.
Well, see, the media celebration of Caitlin, that just highlights how whiteness is often packaged as more marketable and palatable. And while Black players, whether they rookies, face harder scrutiny or whether they pigeonholed, and it reveals a racial bias in whose success is amplified and whose is questioned. In this equal framing, it's unequal framing that perpetuates long-standing stereotypes about Black athletes. Anybody in this audience been living longer than yesterday? You can go all the way back to Althea Gibson in the 1950s, and this is why I love doing PoliSport. You can connect the dots. You can go all the way back. You can go back to 1906 when this great white hype thing first even emerged. The media serves those in power. I'll repeat that. The media serves those in power because those in power are who pays the media. And the media is designed to tell you what to think. Because they're not trying to make you a critical thinker in this country. They never had. So they have a mechanism that will tell you what to think. And most of y'all, too many people don't even know what the word critical thinking consists of. You'll believe anything media tell you. Oh, such happened. Well, I saw it on TV. And that's supposed to be the gospel. TV is called TV programming. Because they tell you what to think. They do the same thing in every medium. And now you over here believing anything that a content creator, not one that's qualified, not one that's educated, just someone able to manipulate. And then they manipulate your mind because you dare not question anything come from another person. To me, that is absolutely crazy. Always ask why or how. Or at least go check 2 or 3 resources. They used to teach you that in school. They don't teach you that no more. Because they don't want you thinking.
You said now you ask me if I don't expect those people to push your own. But what I'm not gonna allow is what I'm not gonna allow and what I'm gonna push back on is allowing you to walk in here and walk in here and push your own on the backs of my people. Because you pushing your own on the backs of my people that stood this league up. So yeah, I'm gonna push back on that every time. Yeah, I know what they're doing. That's why I'm pushing back on it. That's why these type of conversations are important. That's why. That's why. I seen Black people channels talking down on Reese, falling for that bullshit too, and they do. And they do. How does media's use of coded language around Black players reinforce deeper racial narratives in sports, Lil?
Well, see, when you think about coded language around Black players that often paint them in the same stereotype as aggressive or emotional. You know, what it does is reinforce harmful stereotypes that justify unequal treatment. So if I get out here and call you a sapphire, you know, a person that's, you know, loud and aggressive and forceful. So when somebody come and crack you over the head with some nonsense, oh, she deserved it. You know, it re-victimizes you. And it's a subtle way of shaping the public perception, and it influences everything from fan support to officiating. Angel Reese plays on the court. Every official had highlighted attention on her. They looking for anything to make people, you know, make people feel, oh, we watching her. She's not going to get away with anything. It's 9 other people on the court. You busy focused on her, you know, and you can see this bias. So when people put out a narrative that you deserve to be done wrong, or you deserve to get bullshit calls, you know, just because of who you are and the fact that you play more physical, you know, this, that, and the other, you know, we already got this, you know, we larger than anything. You know, when you see a black woman coming, you don't just see a woman coming, you know, you see something that's been planted in your mind. So these kind of things, they if nobody had ever said nothing, say that Caitlin and Angel had went on, you know, through the college and to the pros, and we have all that nonsense that occurred in 2023, fans will be just choosing who they want to support. Little girls be able to, you know, ain't got to turn around and say, Mommy, is it okay if I speak to Angel? You know, this, that, and the other. These are instilled fears in people. Oh, I hate her. You don't even know the person. You know, and then you ask them, why do you hate her? Why just hate her? I mean, just ridiculous stuff. You can't even, because you've been brainwashed and told that that's what you need to do. In order to support this one person, you got to hate the other. It can't be, oh, I love them both. I enjoy both of their games. I support them both. It can't be in a condition where you have a superiority and an inferiority complex. They're going to make you choose one or the other. And if you're not a person that can think beyond, you know, the corners of your mind, then you're going to be dictated to. You got whole swaths of people, you know, one way or the other. It just makes no sense. And that's the way media upholds these racial hierarchies without overtly naming it race, you know, and it goes back to the ideology. Look it up, ideology, because that's what racism is. It's an ideology, and it's permeated everywhere in the system. And it started with the inception of this country and the position of the people in the country. You had slaves at the bottom. You had white male owners at the top, and they done rolled this century, rolled it 250 years forward. You know, and even beyond that, you know.
I don't know. Y'all let me know. If it's some irritation in the chat that y'all tired of, because I definitely get it up out of here. I definitely get it up out of here. But follow the money and you'll find the motive. I see y'all saying. Y'all let me know. Let's kill the noise. This shift we witnessing, it's not about basketball. It's about the bag. Every branding move got a motive. And right now, the WNBA is running an intentional play, chasing after white, conservative, leaning male dollars from folks who ain't never even been courtside. Never been courtside for women's hoops. Tabitha, I don't know how often you join these conversations, but we've had conversations about building our own and all of that. What we're talking about now is what we're gonna do if we're gonna continue to play in these arenas. So that's it. If Angel get one more text, she's suspended. I want to know why her coaches are not fighting for her. Oh, that's another. I don't know why they don't get texts in Chicago. But peep the broadcast deals. Peep the ad spots. People who's getting those primetime features. This ain't just marketing. It's a repackage. The league is trying to sanitize the sauce, polish the product, and hand it off to a crowd that don't even rock with the roots. And to make that work, they got to turn the volume down on black women. Quiet the politics. Center a safe base for Middle America. And let's be clear, black women ain't the problem. Black women are the reason the league even got culture to monetize. They are the ones that's filling the seats, running the socials, setting the trends, buying the merch, carrying the W from day one. But now that the league smells some new money, and this is what I'm talking about, people act like, if we wasn't supporting the league, who the hell was supporting it for the last 28 years for it to still be here? Mm-hmm. And then y'all tell me that it wasn't making money. And Lil told y'all, ain't nobody seen the book, so how you know? Show me where you lost the money. Mm-hmm. It's moving like the same black women who built this thing is too bold. They too political, too unapologetically us right now. So who wins when the W pivots? And more importantly, who gets erased in the process? And the W is crazy for solely focusing on one player. We definitely can push Unrivaled and help that flourish. Again, Tabitha, I don't know how often you hear. I have a co-host. We do a whole Unrivaled show. Every night after Unrivaled, we push out where to go get the merch. My co-host does unveilings of Angel Reese and other black players' products on her platform. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. That's the message that we delivering over here. Lil, what does the W shift towards a white male audience tell us about how corporate America views black fandom and loyalty?
Well, it shows that corporate America still undervalues black fandom, and seeing it as less profitable. It's the same dollar and too complicated, to market to. And we know we know they double up their money when they market to us. And so it treats black loyalty as expendable, prioritizing demographics they believe will bring quick financial gain. And it just reveals a disregard for the core community that built the league's foundation. And they're gonna find out when this dollar they chasing cuts out or go back to whatever they was doing before they was running over here. They're gonna look around, it's just gonna be us standing there, like we always been.
Okay, so CK says the reason why it's not black or white is because billions from the Catholic Church. This is why she's big. Billions from the Catholic Church. She's been spotlighted from high school. She's a Christian mentor, spotlighted and supported by millions of Christians, Catholic newsletters, church news, etc. I ain't seen her none of that. It ain't about her color. She's straight, traditional Christian, but especially Catholic. She's the global news mentor. Okay. I don't know nothing about her. Have y'all seen her in any of y'all newsletters? Facts political. An example is movie studio said a black superhero can't make money, and then there was Blade and Black Panther. So is the Catholic Church putting the money into her, or is it the Christians putting the money into her?
This is a Christian nation, so I don't know where the Catholics
or the Catholics and the Christians got together to put her out there. I'm a little confused on what you're saying right here. Do I think she's straight? Oh, I don't. Well, I will say her representative is. The representative that you meet is presented as straight. I don't know for sure. I don't even really care. I don't even know why that matters. And see, I ain't for none of that. I'm can you hoop?
Right, and if she can hoop, why would that matter? If y'all saying that it's because she has this superior talent,
eyes, popularity, and support. Oh, okay. Okay. So that's why she's big, because the Catholics and the Christians like her. I don't know. I don't even think she was that popular in high school. Matter of fact, it was all about Paige.
Yeah, because she was that popular in high school. How she come out number 7 and Paige come out number 1?
Yeah, it was all about Paige till Paige got hurt. So I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting take. I don't know that I totally follow it, but I appreciate you sharing. Do you feel like the WNBA is ignoring its core fan base? I'm asking the audience to chat to attract a different demographic. demographic, you feel like it's ignoring its core fan base? Do y'all feel ignored in this switch? Paige was 1, Angel was 2, Camilla was 5, Cam was 4, 3, something like that. Caitlin was 4, something like that. I don't get the obsession people have with these people's sexuality either, and their love lives. It just I don't understand. Okay, you're a Christian and you don't watch CC. Okay, keep it. Yeah, I don't know. When representation becomes discrimination, is there legal ground to fight back? I think that was some, like, can a civil lawsuit be filed? And that was something he was talking about. Let's go from commentary to accountability. Oh God, here's the thing, CK. I hear what you're saying, except there's a whole lot of straight white women in the league. There's a whole lot of straight white women in the league. Why hurting it? What's up, Lisa Pugh? Let's take the commentary to accountability. Because if what we're seeing is intentional exclusion, where Black athletes are consistently denied equal marketing, visibility, and endorsement opportunities, despite equal or superior performance, that's not just shady, it could be illegal. So he was talking about Civil Rights Act of 1964, racial discrimination in the workplace being prohibited, and for these athletes, the WNBA is the workplace. So, and then I wonder, are they really looked at like, who else is a straight white woman in the league? Elena Deladon was straight. JC Showed straight. I mean, you need me to name them? I don't keep up with sexuality like that, but I believe Sabrina Ionescu told y'all she was straight. I think Cam Brink is engaged right now, but CK, tell me, why in the fuck does that matter? That's what I want to know. I'm really interested in that. And you seem to be one of these like Catholic Christian people that are looking for it, because you took the time to explain it and everything. So why does it matter who they sleeping with? Why does that matter? You supporting them. Here's the thing. Why does that matter for you to support the WNBA and basketball? Y'all know when y'all go to some of these places, I don't know, McDonald's, Amazon, Walmart, wherever the fuck it is that you spend your money, it's some gay people serving you. It's some gay people that work. It's some gay people that work there. It's some gay people in their front offices. It's some black people that work there. Do y'all know that? If you could only go where there were only straight white women, where in the fuck in the world could you be able to just go? Tell me. Where would you go? Where you could guarantee it's only straight white women.
You can't even go to church.
You see what I'm saying? What are y'all talking about? So again, why does it matter? Why the fuck does that matter? Why is that so important? Who they sleeping with? Man, did you get a triple-double last night? I'm not even interested in where you're going when you leave out the gym. A true Christian doesn't pass judgment on other people, so CK can't be. Don, I wasn't even gonna go there. Okay, see, Don J, see, I wasn't gonna go there. Out here in the Midwest, that's an issue. But how? I live right here in the Midwest. I'm right here in the Midwest.
I live just in the Midwest as I want to.
I'm living just as gay as I want to. True, in my skin, being who I am every day. Ain't no issue for me. It's only an issue if you allow people to make it an issue. What you minding my business for? I don't need no eye test. My gaydar tell me. But it shouldn't matter who they sleeping with. There's some straight black women in the WNBA too. Don't matter. I understand true Christians don't judge. I got you. But let's get back to this so we can get ready to wrap it up. If brand decisions are limiting black players' earning potential while favoring white players, that's economic harm tied to race. It ain't a problem in Chicago at all. Okay, yeah. It ain't. Yeah, no, I ain't. I've been moving around pretty good. And branding ain't fluff. It directly impacts salary, longevity, sponsorships, generational wealth. The same stats don't get the same rewards. That's the spirit. And that's a legal lane someone could walk through soon. So is this just bad optics, or are we looking at a civil rights violation waiting to be challenged? What legal or historical examples, Lil, tell us that athletes can push back when image and branding are used as tools of racial bias?
Well, you can look at, history shows us cases like Colin Kaepernick, activism, in the landmark lawsuit against discriminatory hiring in sports leagues, where athletes have challenged racial bias head on. And these examples, they prove that athletes have power when they organize and demand accountability, around their image and, of course, around branding. So legal actions coupled with public pressure, they have forced leagues to confront systemic inequities before. I mean, the NFL just got through. They hit it pretty good, though. They just got tagged for a collusion against Russell, Lamar Jackson, and Kyle, in the guarantee situation. It was ruled that they did, in fact, collude against these young men getting guaranteed salaries. But then they have, on the other side, a claim that there were no damages. And I'm like, no, if you done lost guaranteed money, there is some damages. So that's still kind of processing through the system. And I would say that the NFL has been tagged the most with discriminatory type cases, connected to the civil rights bill. Because, remind you all again, these are workplaces. These players, like it or not, believe it or not, they employees. That's why they get taxed.
So I got a question, Lil. Mm-hmm. Do you think they call them employees, or do they call them independent contractors? And if they call them independent contractors, does that make a difference in whether or not they can file a case?
Yeah, it does. In a sense, no, they are considered employees. They are not independent contractors. They are contracted employees.
So, and the reason I'm asking is because when Hamby sued the WNBA was like, "We not your employer," remember? And they let the WNBA out the case and and stuck it to Vegas. So, would the case be with the W? Would it be with the team, or would you sue them both? Or what do you think?
Well, any case can be brought against any entity that has more than 15 employees. That's what the rules say. So yes, okay. You can't now, just because the league is trying to shift it back on Vegas. Bottom line is she's still an employee. They were her employer. And the position of the WNBA is that we didn't make the rules that, kept you out of school or had the child going to daycare, whatever that mess was. Mm-hmm. We were not directly involved. You see what I'm saying? Because the player union and the league, they make these rules and they make them for the teams to follow them. So that's how it winded up back, in the hands of Vegas. But she could never have been able to bring a class action. Not a class action, but a discriminatory lawsuit like that had she not been classified as an employee. So no, she's not an independent contractor. And even independent contractors, depending on if you working a government contract or not, they have protections as well. They just remove it.
For those of y'all that is hitting y'all keyboards telling me that Hamby didn't sue the WNBA, that she sued the team. Here's the thing. One thing about me, if I don't fucking know, I'm not gonna say. Okay? So what happened, and you can put this up on ESPN.com. The name of the article is Dearica Hamby suit versus WNBA toss, and she can't pursue the case versus the Aces. So, like I said, she initially filed a case against the WNBA and the Aces, and they threw it out because they said the WNBA was not her employer. So you can pull that up. It was the Associated Press, May 15th, 2025, 7:46 p.m. You can pull it up, okay? I don't come up here and just be wasting fucking people's fucking time, Reginald. I don't do that. She tried to sue them both, and then a federal judge dismissed the case. So again, it's on ESPN.com. This is how I'm gonna start dealing with y'all with this bullshit. May 15th, 2025, 7:46 p.m. Eastern. Associated Press. The name of the article: De'Erica Hamby suit versus the WNBA toss. Can't pursue case versus Aces. See, I don't know who y'all favorite content creator is, but I ain't them. Before I cut this camera on and come up here and talk, I do research. I'm not up here just to be the loudest, hollering, most cussing person on YouTube. I come up here to have a real fucking conversation. I bring people who have knowledge that want to have real conversations. I'm not up here for clickbait. I'm not up here to change nobody's mind. I'm up here to share and have conversations. When I put stuff out there, trust me, I done went and researched it. When I don't know, you'll hear me and ask my chat. I don't know. Ask the chat. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. My chat better than yours. Tell me. So when I put it out there, it is that. It's that. It's that. So this may not be the channel for you. We over here with facts. We over here with research. We over here with you. So when you come in, so when you just type stuff like she sued the team and not the league, that wasn't factual. I love that you here, Reginald. But if you don't know, because see, here's the thing. Here's one thing about me about PoliSports. When you leave here, we want you to go out and talk about it. If you reckless in my chat and you type stuff as facts, people will leave here like, nah, she didn't sue the league. I seen that on Cess Talk Sports. I seen that on PoliSports. But she really did. It's okay to say I'm not sure. It's okay to just wait and see. But words matter, and how we present things matter, and those are the things that we got to be more careful about. That's what I'm talking about. So I'm not gonna waste y'all time. I'm not up here to trick y'all. When I'm like, yo, she sued the league and the team, and they made her back off of it. That wasn't just for me to look good. That was because I took my time to go research it so I could share that with y'all about that. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. I don't know what other channels do. But we're not up here just to hear ourselves talk. But what I want to do now is kill the noise and shift the shift we're witnessing. It's about the bag, y'all. Every branding, it's got a motive. And I think what I'm most scared about this motive is what does it mean for the young players that's coming behind them. Right? For the young players coming behind them with this shit. Are they going to be empowered? Are they going to come in already erased? Do they got to come in and play by different rules? Will it still be the same WNBA? Mm-hmm. I don't think so. But and the reason I talk about that is because we went out on social media to see like what are people saying about this on the timeline, in group chats, on fan forum. And people are not fooled. We see it. People say, I'm not watching the W to see a Caitlin Clark highlight reel. Give me Asia. Give me Chelsea. Give me the real ones who've been doing this. Feels like the league sold out. I used to feel seen. Now I feel replaced. How is Angel leading in rebounds and still getting third-tier coverage? Y'all said grow the game, not erase culture. Those is quotes off people. That's not me. And ain't just fans. The players dropping shade in the sunlight too. Asia, there's a difference between being the best and being marketed as the best. Angel tweeted, I'm the bad guy. Bet. Watch me work. Lexi Brown, it's okay to cheer for your fave without putting down the ones who built this. Got you. So what we're seeing isn't backlash, it's a movement. One where fans and players are both saying, you will not rewrite this story without us. And this is why it's an important time. This is why when I be saying, hey, stop letting them run 1960 plays on us in 2025. They running 1960 plays on us like we don't have the tools and the resources and the power to be able to push back on narrative. Like we don't have the social media currency to be able to push the algorithm the way that we want it to go. Mm-hmm. This is a scary time right now for them. They're scrambling real hard to be able to try to control these narratives, to be able to try to get these to put all these Jack in the Boxes back in the box. But it's out here now. What are we gonna do with it? Lil, what do these player statements and fan reactions tell you about the W's relationship to the community that built it?
It's a real disconnect between the player voices and the fan reactions. That reveals it's a strained relationship where the league is sidelining the very community that created this foundation. It shows that the W is struggling to genuinely listen, to the response of its core supporters. You never forget your foundation. You lose your foundation on your house will fall apart. And so this tension is it's a risk of eroding the loyalty of both the players and the fans. And pretty soon you're going to look up, there's going to be another game in town, and the people you done kept crushing, they're going to take their best talent somewhere else. That's what I see potentially coming. You're going to have a WNBA with not the best talent, because the best talent going to be going somewhere where they're comfortable playing and where they appreciate. Can't step on people, constantly and then think that they're going to, just roll with you while you shitting on their face. Just not going to happen.
And when you see the game is rigged, don't watch, push back, change the rules. We named the problem, we clocked the pattern, and we done pulled the receipts and laid the system bare. But over here at PoliSports Tea Time, we try to get together at least twice a week. 2 recorded shows, 2 live shows. We try to get you 2 recorded shows, 2 live shows, two conversations a week. We don't just spill tea, we plant seeds. Because calling it out ain't enough. Now we got to talk about what comes next. First up, fan power. Don't sleep. Y'all already proven how real that is. When fans move, brands have to respond. When the noise gets loud enough, networks start scrambling. So we need that same energy right here. That means checking bias coverage, dragging lazy narratives, writing sponsors, putting our dollars behind the players they keep trying to sideline. You see injustice on the mic or the monitor, say something, shake something, move something. Player power. The WNBA already pulled a real one by opting out the CBA. That wasn't random. That was chess. And black players, they got leverage. So don't just negotiate for salary, demand visibility, media equity, brand backing. Because in this game, airtime is currency. And value got to be negotiated, not gifted. And last, media ownership. That's why we here. That's why Be Wise. That's why Cess Talk Sports. That's why all the black-led voices in this space matter. Because we're not waiting for access. We bring in our folding chair, roll the camera, and tell the truth our way. When we control the mic, they can't flip the script. What did Angel do? Go get a podcast because you gonna hear it out my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
So the real question ain't just what's the league gonna do. The real question is what are we gonna do? Because they can't erase us if we too loud, too organized, and too rooted to be ignored. How do grassroots media and independent platforms help protect black players from being erased in mainstream narratives, Lil?
Grassroots and independent media creators, like us, we create space for authentic stories, and mainstream outlets, they often ignore these. So in this space, especially in this YouTube space, with all the content creators coming on board, we able to push back on nonsense that's being flooded. We amplify black players' voices and we celebrate their achievements. Like it's people that put out posters when Erasure does something that breaks a record, or Angel does something that breaks a record. It's people that go into their own photoshops and come up with posters and stuff that they put out in the space. These are ways that we could celebrate their achievements, challenge those narratives. So the platforms are essential for preserving history and ensuring that players get to control their own stories, and that the stories are told correctly. Because if we didn't have this space here, I feared that people would be told anything and there'd be no way to push back on it. But social media has allowed us the space to push back, and it's being, platforms are being created every day. When one platform start, trying to control what you're doing, and YouTube does have some control of what you're doing.
Absolutely.
We could switch over to another platform and on to another platform. And there's going to be a black platform that's coming online soon. So
when I be saying like, share, subscribe, On all platforms, it ain't just because I want the likes and the shares. It's because that's how I keep up with the platform. If something goes down on one platform and we need to restart a conversation on another platform, how do we engage? How do we stay in touch? That's part of the reason why we had a Cess Talk Sports Mansion. That you can always get us there. We control the conversations there. But I mean, listen, it was a heavy conversation, y'all. I know y'all feel that. We unpacked it all from branding bias to receipts to resistance. We asked some hard questions about who gets the spotlight, who gets strategically dimmed, and we kept coming back to this truth. Black women, brown women built this league, period. What's happening now isn't just a shift, it's a test of memory, of media, of movement. And like we always say, sports is never just about the games we play, but the stories we tell. So best believe we're going to keep telling them. Loud, unfiltered, and unapologetically rooted in truth.
As this says, we're not just here to comment, we're here to counter those negative narratives. And because, when the mic keeps skipping over our voices, we're going to make some new microphones. And we're not asking for permission to be visible. We're just going to be visible. And now we're going to document, we're going to amplify, and we're going to reclaim. So all the folks riding with us, you are the movement. You are the media. And every like, every share, every comment, every clip you post, it matters. Because we don't just want visibility. We want legacy.
54 to chat right now. If you did not hit the like and the share already, what you waiting for? Like and share so that we know that you are here. Rewatch game. Make sure you like, share, comment. Let us know what you thought about the conversation. Make sure you check out the recorded video. We went into way more in depth on this topic, but we like to put out the recorded videos first and then follow it up with a real conversation, so that we can digest what we just shared and answer any questions. And always be talking about how we can continue to organize and continue to push back on narratives. We appreciate y'all. I'm telling y'all too. I'm on my way to 5,000. I think I'm like 27 away from 5,000. The moment I hit 5,000, I don't care what's the day, what's the hour, what's the time. I don't care when I find out that I hit 5,000. Oh, it's a party on Cess Talk Sports. It's all about y'all. It's all about y'all. This community started with none, and now we're gonna be at 5,000 here pretty soon. I appreciate political little you coming and taking this journey with me. This is just the beginning. We 5,000, next stop 1 million. So y'all be on the lookout. If you have not subscribed already, what you waiting on? Hit the subscribe, ring that notification bell so you do not miss the next drop. I'm back here later. I think with I don't know if I'm doing a game cocking or a therapy session. We may do a book club meeting. I got a poll out on that one, so we'll see. But some more content coming back tonight. No hoops on tonight, so we'll hang out and get ready for a lot of big games tomorrow. Vegas versus Indiana. But if this episode sparks something in you, don't just sit with it, move with it. Like the vid, share the link, drop a comment, hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, tell your crew to pull up because we just getting warmed up. Y'all know what it is. Next time, we taking it to the paint. We got a new series, Bias in the Paint, kicking off our next episode, breaking down how racial coding, biased officiating, and media narrative shape the game from the baseline to the broadcast booth, y'all. Absolute independent voices, speech, and perspectives are paramount for living true and genuinely accounting of our words. Subscribe. Thank you, CK. Caitlin Clark is trash, still in the lead of Boston. Kelsey Mitchell credit. Oh, man. Y'all, stay locked in. Keep that energy up. Cess Talk Sports, BY's PoliSports Tea Time. It's political live. Cess Talk Sports, keep the kettle hot, keep the truth hotter. Until next time, y'all stay tuned. Talk soon.